What they do, what it is, this is Orion, aka Brass Balls, a deep dive tape stash episode that I'm sure my real thorough hip-hop heads will enjoy. But before we take this plunge into the sonics of this incredible tape I got in front of you, make sure you go subscribe to the channel that makes it all happen, and that is Orion Hip Hop. Like, share, repost, a little reciprocation goes a long way and is always truly appreciated. So please make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube channel Orion Hip Hop, where you can peep previous episodes as well as dope ass music from yours truly. Now, this is the joint right here that kind of put Royal Flush in talks with a lot of people and actually got him into some beef. Royal Flush was introduced to us through another Queens thorough MC by the name of Mike Geronimo. Mike Geronimo released an album called The Natural, which in many people's eyes is a classic. And Royal Flush was like his co-defendant on that murder spree because he was featured on quite a few tracks on The Natural. And that's really what introduced him to us. Now, the year is 1996 when this was released, and Queens was definitely on the map around this era. The bridge was definitely not over. Nas had dropped Illmatic just prior to that, and Mobb Deep hit everybody up outside the head with an infamous album and really made a statement. And a whole slew of great MCs were coming out of Q Borough, 100%. And this was one of them, Royal Flush. This is a track called Worldwide, which was a single off of his album, his debut album, Ghetto Millionaire. Now, before the rap game had Mr. Worldwide himself, Mr. Worldwide, we had this dude come out with this track, Worldwide, and this is Royal Flush. Now, the concept of this record, to my understanding, is that he was throwing his hat in the ring into the East-West war conflict that was going on in hip-hop around that time. Many of you will remember that Dogg Pound had released New York, New York, actually prior to this, and then Capone and Noriega would answer New York, New York with LA, LA. And of course, you had Tupac would hit him up, so the tensions were there. You know, cats wanted to throw their hat in the ring and let it be known that we ain't gonna take that. And Royal Flush was one of them. That's why he came out with this Worldwide. That was the concept behind Worldwide, Worldwide. The track itself was produced by LES. It's one of LES's dope beats in his catalog, and the brother has quite a few gems in that catalog. I think this is one of them for sure. Later on, as years would go by, at least 2 decades later, French Montana would go on to release a joint, I'm a Coke Boy, and that has the same sample that LES used for Worldwide, and that's a Billy Preston sample from the song called You Are So Beautiful, which is actually obviously a cover that Billy Preston did. So, you know, if you're curious onto the sounds of it, that's where he got it from. Now, Worldwide's a dope track. Like I mentioned earlier, this was off of the debut album from Royal Flush, Ghetto Millionaire. It's got so many bangers. It's actually one of my favorite albums from that era in hip-hop for sure. It's so slept on. The singles from it was Ice Down Medallions. Shines was a single from it. But aside from those tracks, they were incredible, but there was other joints on it. Regulate featuring Mike Geronimo, Idiotic Signs featuring Mike Geronimo. The two have such great chemistry together. I wonder why they haven't dropped the full album together. That would be dope to see. But anyways, Conflict, War, Making Moves, Moving on Your Weak Production, all of these joints were very fire, very solid. A lot of A-list producers. High Tech was on it, Buck Wild, Easy LP. I mean, the list goes on. He had a really solid list of production on this album, and he definitely did a good job in picking joints off of it. You know, it's got that 90s feel to it, and I think it's got like 21 tracks on it. So the album is like thick with music, bro. Like, you know, shout out to Royal Flush, bro. Man, I do recall back in like 2005 MySpace days, I was looking to bring down acts. So I was kind of like trying to see who I could book, trying to do it on my own, because I wanted to open up for cats and bring real hip hop to Miami. And Royal Flush is somebody I reached out to. The dude was like down to earth and everything, and I wasn't able to make it happen because I wasn't able to get the investors that I had in mind. But I ended up meeting him at the Marlin Bar in South Beach, thanks to the homie Hazardous Sounds. I saw Haz out there, Royal Flush was out there, and he introduced me to Royal Flush that night. And he was still mad cool peoples, man. That's somebody that, like, I would love to bring down to Miami and do a set 100%, bro. Especially given how graceful he was that day, man, that I met him and shit. Still doing his thing. A couple of years back, 2014, he released a really dope album that has, like, mad slept on, called Grand Capo. Go check that Grand Capo album out and go check out the brother, because he's still doing his thing, and there's a lot of music he's still a part of, putting things out, and you don't want to keep sleeping on Royal Flush, you know, straight out of Flushing, Queens, and that's somewhat of the science behind the name Royal Flush. A lot of people might not know that, but you do now, and that's why you here. You feel me? Yo, and I also don't want to forget to mention that Royal Flush has a really dope verse on the recently released Diamond D album, The Dime Piece 3. Go check that out. It's fire. It's got a video as well. And also, shout out to Royal Flush, man. I hope he's doing good. I know there's a GoFundMe. He's fighting lymphoma right now. I'm going to put a link to the GoFundMe on this. We need to take care of our legends, no doubt. The tape itself, I remember copping this from a thrift store. I want to say it was a Red, White, and Blue, but I don't know which location of Red, White, and Blue. Forgive me, you know, I'm getting older, and I've had this tape since like 99 at least. The tape itself only got 2 tracks. It's got the album cut and it's got the instrumental. And dope to have the instrumental, because you could rhyme on this all day. But it would, with an album as thick as Ghetto Millionaire was, they could have put some other album cuts on this as well. I'm just saying, Blunt Records, Blunt Recordings, TVT. Come on, man. Y'all could have given us a little something more than just that. But it is what it is. I'm glad I got this in the collection. Once again, go check out Royal Flush's Ghetto Millionaire, as well as the other material he's been putting out. Thank you for tuning in to another Deep Dive Tape Stash. Make sure you do not leave your goggles behind. New episodes every week. That's what I do. Orion signing off. Peace.